You think one guy can build this all by himself? Well, maybe. But let me show you how I did it. So after about a month of waiting on a contractor, got tired of waiting, just did it myself. So let's build a shop. Got 2 shipping containers. Those are 40 foot long, so that's 80 feet total. Step 1 in building this shop is a dream. I want to have a roof going in front of those shipping containers. Just a single pitch roof coming up, going 80 feet by 24 feet. The reason I figured that out is the price of trusses. These were $3 grand. If I went to the next size up, it'd be quite a bit more. So, hey, 24 foot is plenty. The next step is to plan. I used a string. It's just laying there now, but built these batter boards. Basically wanted the lineup or the edge of the container to line up with the edge of the building. Put these on the diagonal so I can get my line going this way, my line going this way. Did a whole lot of math, figured out the spacing, 11 feet and a few inches. Figured out the materials. There's my wood package, trusses, concrete, and string. Step 2 complete. Next step is to drill these holes. You can dig them by hand if you'd like. This red clay here, not very forgiving for that. Borrowed a 12-inch auger, augered all those things down nice and deep. Went pretty smooth, pretty easy. There's all the material that came out, and then started building these forms. Of course, everything's lined up and squared up. This is 10 by 10. Got a 6-inch post, which is 5.5 inches, and the brackets I'm using require 2-inch clearance on each side. So 10 by 10 covers that quite well. You can see this one sticks up out of the ground a little bit. I did use a laser level to get everything lined up. I want the height of everything to be the same as the pad that this container sits on. I poured those a few months back. They're perfectly flat, so going off of here. But yeah, that's the next step. Build the forms. So a little slow going. I got 6 out of 8 forms built. We'll do a couple more. I'm just using up scrap. Use whatever you got. It doesn't matter. It comes right out. As long as it's slightly below grade, it's all good. 2 more to go, and then we'll mix some concrete. Wish me luck. And on to the part we're doing today. I rented this cement mixer. This one costs about $126 for the weekend. A lot of these rental companies, if you pick it up on Friday, you don't have to bring it till Monday. They only charge you for 1 day. I've got a pallet of concrete over here. I know I'm gonna need more, that's for sure. I counted it out to be like 80 bags total. A pallet is 42, and some of these holes are quite a bit larger or a good bit deeper. So I'm just gonna buy more concrete. How about that? Currently, if you buy a pallet, it's $4.22 per bag at the Home Depot. So I think that's okay. I only need just shy of 2 yards, so getting the truck out here wouldn't be quite worth it, because I think they want 5 yards minimum most of the time. It depends on your area. $140, $160 a yard, whatever that comes out to be. I don't need any more than that, and if I have too much concrete at the end and not enough project, then I'll just return it, see if they take it back. Some of you may be absolutely shocked. This is my first time working with a concrete mixer. I'd say it's going as good as it can. So the top I want a little soupy, so when I set the bracket, it's not a big pain. Oh, always wear gloves when working in concrete. These are some awesome frog togs. I used to get them on Amazon. They hold up so well. These are very old. I'll leave a link. So I got 4 piers poured. Well, before the concrete sets up, I'll set these brackets. So I re-hung my strings, and outside to outside needs to be exactly 24 feet. And I'm holding off a foot, so 25 feet right there. One little note here, make sure these are touching. I've had a couple of them, they were like ½ inch off. That'll mess up your building. Good news. The string, I actually put it in the right position because it's right at my measurement. So we don't need to tape anymore. That's good. Let's check the level. So I worked into the night, didn't get to finish. But this came out good. First came out stripped them yesterday. So nice and solid. Yeah, that looks good. So, goal was accomplished. I got all of those up against the container done. Got my measurements perfect. Plus or minus an 1/8 inch. I'm pretty happy with that. And my elevation is also perfect. Plus or minus an 1/8 inch burr, part of laser. yeah, so you just walk it up. I'm gonna put a couple more dead legs, level this thing out, and screw it in together. Alright, so on these guys, I'm using the big 5-inch screws right there in the middle. You can put through bolts. I'm going with the 5-inch screws since it's a 5.5-inch post. And in all the small holes here, I'm putting the structural screws, the Simpson structural screws. I don't have them all populated. I got to go get some longer ones. But just to hold it up for the time being, that's what we got. All right, welcome to the top of the shipping container. Let's strap this thing down. Well, bolt it down, how about that? So we're down with the straps, get rid of those. I just want to roughly put it center. As you can see on the other side, I eyeballed it. It's not that critical. I care about the post being level because that's an aesthetic thing. It's just the eye will catch it if it's not. One of them over there is a little bit off, so I gotta reposition it, but as long as it's centered and it's making good contact, that's all we need. All right, next up, I'm gonna toss a couple of these 2x6s up top, cut them to length. They're 2x6x12s. This is just shy of 12. I had 80 feet. I divided it evenly, plus or minus a little bit here. So I just put a couple up there. The one on the far back and on the far front, that's going to be pressure treated. The other ones I'm buying just regular. Wood's so expensive, they're going to be undercover. We'll just deal with that. So I'm just going to toss a couple onto the container, do some cutting up there. I think that'll work. Issue I was having here, whew, I cut that one piece to my measurement. The measurement was 136 inches, and that is exactly 136 inches center to center there, so that worked out perfect. But due to the variability of materials and poor workmanship, it isn't 136 inches. That was short. So not even bring a tape measure up there. Just gonna set it on the bracket, carry it over, mark it, cut it, put some screws in, and move on. I think it's gonna work. You get to watch me go up and down the ladder 100 times.
So at this point we go back to the question I posed at the beginning of the video. Can one person actually do this? As you can see, my buddy's over here. He's helping me out with the cutting those tails off and putting in the fascia board. That'd be really hard to do by yourself, unless you had a scissor lift. That's an option there. As you'll see here in a few minutes, we start laying out the metal. The metal, in this case, was definitely a two-man job. Now, those were 27-foot pieces of metal. If you had some, let's say, 14s, you could manage a 14-foot sheet of metal by yourself and then have a foot overhang in between. That's certainly an option, something I thought about. But, extra seams, more screws, potential points of failure there. So I decided just to enlist some help, and we knocked it out. It was about a day and a half worth of work with the metal, and it was good to go.
let's see if this works. Wish us luck. C-clamped a piece of 2x6 up there. You know, I don't want to scuff it up the container, of course.
Alright, all you.
So 2 people, that actually went pretty well. Got the sheet up there, now we'll climb up and get it, start screwing it down. Well, that's all the work for today. Got probably 2/3 of the way done. Here's the middle. I've got to put up one more row, so I can do that myself. My buddy was here to help me. Very appreciative for that. Look at all that metal. I'm gonna work on putting some of the trim up here. I can do that solo probably, maybe. So you can see I've been putting down the drip edge on the bottom here. Okay, show you that drip edge. It's It's this stuff here. So if any water comes down, it's just going to kick it out. It's got a little lip here, and I've got a good space, so it'll just kick it off. Had my metal cut exactly to length so it doesn't overhang on either side since we've got the trim. And no, it's not perfect, but perfect for me. I'm so happy. Look at all this room we've got, and everything is out of the rain. I'm gonna figure out something to do up there. I like the sun coming through. Maybe put some of that opaque paneling. Either way, I think I'm gonna take the containers and like lift them up a little bit, about an inch. Put a gentle tilt on them. It's sitting on piers. You'll see that somewhere else. But all this stuff can now be out of the rain. Very happy. Driving the tractor up here, yeah, I got a soggy butt from this seat, so now I'll be able to show it a little bit of love. But yeah, okay, another day, maybe this week, maybe next, put the rest of this metal up, put up this last 6x6 post here with the last truss and the purlins, and we'll be ready. Now it's all done. Check it out. Just rained last night, so super muddy out there. Nice and dry in here. All the machines are out of the weather, not getting rained on. And here's the reason why this thing's so tall. I wanted to make sure that the air conditioner cleared. The AC unit up top on the camper, it's maybe another foot or two from the board, which is good. Plenty of clearance, but the shop had to grow bigger because of it. So I gave myself a little bit extra room just to make sure we could clear. Give you another perspective here. Got one bay open, that's for the my buddy's camper. But leave my work truck here. Camper. All my other stuff. That slag brought in yesterday. This is 5 tons of slag. It was enough to cover one bay and maybe a half. So figure about 3 tons per bay of slag for my application. So I need more, but yeah, that's more to come. Overall, it was a fun project. From the time I started digging the holes till the metal was on the roof, that was about 6 weeks or so, month and a half. Keep in mind, I'm doing this part-time, weekends, in between jobs, after work, things like that. So not too bad, I don't think. Big shout out to my buddy for helping me with the metal. That went nice and quick and smooth. We got that done in about a day and a half worth of work.
Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video here. But we've got to talk about the most important part, the price. How much did all of this cost? Keep in mind, all of these prices are end of 2022. It's actually November, December. First up is the trusses. Those were $3,000 even. I shopped around. I actually had to drive to Atlanta, 3 hours away to get them, but it was the best price around. Definitely well worth it. Next purchase was those brackets, the wet set brackets that go into the concrete. Got those from Home Depot. They actually deliver right to your house. Total cost for those, $590. The concrete, also Home Depot. Ended up using 82 bags. Well, if you're buying by the pallet, it's a little bit cheaper. So the total cost there was $375. The concrete mixer, like I said, I rented for the weekend. Picked it up Friday, dropped it off Monday morning. Total on that was $126. All the wood. Now this includes the 2x6x12s and the long ones, as well as the posts, the 6x6 posts. Now they're 14 and 16, correction, no, they're 12 and 16, so the total cost for that was $23.50. Now I did use some of the pressure treated 2x6s already had, so maybe add a couple $100 to that number. The metal roofing and the trim, plus the 2,000 screws. Believe it or not, there's like 2,300 screws holding the metal roof and all the trim together. Actually shopped around quite a bit for that. There was a place about an hour away. They had it at a really good price, $2,800. The next one was like $1,000 more. So, hey, shop around. You can find some good deals out there. All right, now this, in addition to the 2,300 screws on the metal, I used about, I don't know, $350 worth of screws. Those are those structural screws, as well as the large 5-inch leg bolts to secure all the wood together. All in all, the total comes out to me $9,590. You know, call it $9,600 or even 10 grand. Like I said, November, December 2022 prices, 10 grand for this building. Let me know what you think. Could you do it cheaper? Do you have better deals where you're at? And are you interested in building one yourself? If you got any questions or I can help you in any way, leave me a comment. Be glad to help out. Enjoy these drone shots, and thanks again for watching.